up on your legal status. Many people fail to respond to RFE or file an application before the deadline. This is why we offer a strategy session for 15 minutes at no cost to you. Not everyone qualifies. First, you need to speak with our CARES team. We receive many requests, so we recommend you answer a few questions on our website, greencardguys.com. Our mission is to help people live and work in America legally. Go ahead and subscribe below and follow and share. Talk to you soon. And how are y'all doing? Welcome to greencardguys.tv. We're here on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. And it's here to answer your questions. I'm going to be live for about 20 minutes. So yeah, go ahead and drop your question in the chat box or share your experience. We love it when people share their experience out here in the community, Green Card Guys community. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in the United States with a physical office in Houston, Texas, H-Town. Houston's growing on me, but I'm from Dallas, and I'm just praying to all the gods that the Dallas Mavericks win at least one game in the NBA Finals. All right, and hope that Luka Magic is not going to be a crybaby. So with that being said, let's move on to today's topic. Is Trump capable of deporting 12 million immigrants? I know it's a bit of a stretch, okay, but he's going to do what he can under his underlings, his administration, if he comes back to office. And he has been chipping away at it during his first term. Now, I don't recall in American history, if a person who was president before skipped 4 years and then came back and became president again. If I remember from school, I don't recall that. But if anyone can drop in the comment, if you got some history knowledge, let me know. Let us know. But and I'm not here to fear monger, but you really need to know this kind of information because he's already put a plan out there. And he dubbed it Project 2025, which is not just for immigration. It's about a lot of things. He just wants to, what does he call that? Drain the swamp. Well, that's interesting because people want to drain him out too. So, yeah, I mean, I do agree government's slow, right? We all know that. That's the whole thing. But he's going to make it worse. He's going to make the government slower by, just generally speaking, cutting people's jobs. So if you have been affected or your loved one or friend has been affected by a layoff, this is not going to be much different under Trump. And when USCIS has already lost several employees, and State Department, at least because of the pandemic reason, imagine how much worse it would be for processing times if President Trump is elected in office again. So you might not be able to vote if you're only a resident or you don't have status. So I'm not asking you to vote. If you don't have status, if you are not a U.S. citizen, I will just be clear, you cannot vote. You're not authorized to vote, just to make sure. Some people know that, some people don't. So don't get confused when you go renew your driver license at the DMV or DPS office and one of the government state clerks say like, hey, would you like to vote? Don't even fall for it, okay? We've received so many calls of people who fell into that. And not to say it was like a trap, it's just that those government state workers don't handle immigration, so have no idea. It's just a form. Side note, sorry. Someone's even, on the very first question, it said, would you like to register to vote? The person who spoke with us, checkmark no. Yeah, continue to fill out the rest of the form. So, and that's just because you're not used to this form. You're just going to do whatever the government worker may have recommended. So this is one reason to be on a live show. Every day I have something different to share. There's just so much to cover. So if you haven't already, go ahead and follow or subscribe down below. Just dropping some knowledge here. But what I usually do if you're new to the channel is I discuss a topic. Welcome to, how's my skin right here? TikTok, man, TikTok's effect is real nice. We talk about a topic. Hopefully it might not be applicable to you, but a different day it could be a topic applicable to you. Then after that, then I'll answer some questions. All right. Now, just some housekeeping things here. If you're interested in our services, and you already know it, you've already been on a live show several times, already messaged us, you can go to link. In any of these scenarios, you can go to the link up here or profile. If you haven't already, click plus, okay? Go ahead and click plus, wherever it's at right here. Or down here, subscribe. Okay, there's at least three options. There's several others, but three main options. If you're interested in our services, that's option number one. You can self-schedule, answer a few questions, self-schedule a meeting. You pay this amount to reserve a spot because we do have a lot of requests, inquiries. I hate doing that, but it ensures that you show up, of course. Um, think of it as like a hotel reservation fee. Let's say a cup of coffee at Starbucks. The second option, okay, let's say you're like, nah, I don't want to hire Ting Law, Green Card Guys Law Group. All good, all gravy. It's part of our mission to help you, point you in the right direction, answer some questions. Can we answer every question? Some people have a lot, and it just depends on our knowledge base. So I think we have a pretty good knowledge base. Sometimes that does require us to revisit and say we'll get back to you in a week or less time and do a little research. This is immigration law. We're not a robot, okay? But that does require a three-digit fee, like a traditional consultation fee that starts with the number one. All right. Now, the third option, if you are just like, for example, wondering generally, like, is fiance visa better than getting married and going through that pathway, and you haven't even proposed yet, then that's more like a webinar option. That's option number three. Or maybe whether you're in the United States or outside, but you're wondering, like, how do I get a sponsor? I want to make sure if you get a sponsor, is it worth it? Essentially, we're happy to share. Okay. Um, but you got to sign up for that one of those webinars. So we try to be expansive in how we offer a portfolio. Man, this skin effect is really amazing. If you use it too for your live show, let me know. All right. Now, let me go back to the topic here. All right. Again, I'm not trying to fearmonger, but it is important for you to know that politics, if you didn't know already, has a lot to do and affect immigration policy literally on a daily basis. It's kind of wild. I mean, some people think it's just because Trump was in office before. No, I mean, even when it was President Obama, things may not have changed every single day, but there was enough changes to keep us immigration lawyers on our toes, okay, to be very cognizant. Um, a lot of people give, even Democrats and Republicans, actually more so Democrats, gave President Obama a lot of crap about like deporting. He was probably the first one called deporter in chief. But actually, every year it just increases. All right, just nature of percentages and numbers of people. But in terms of President Trump's Project 2025, it is over 900 pages apparently. Let me go ahead and share my screen on Facebook and YouTube. Oh, let's see. I'll get to your questions very, very soon. Okay. Let's see here. All right, there we go. So, related to immigration, President Trump wants to increase funding for a wall. Go figure. There's already, was it $5 billion? I can't remember now. It's been back and forth so many times. And then people are wondering, by the way, if you're wondering, like, may give President Biden like issues about it, like, oh, he said he wasn't going to use the money, and then now he's using it. It's because it's already been allotted. Unfortunately, it's already been allotted for it because of the prior year's budget. Okay, so essentially, what he tried to do during his first term, if you don't remember, is he tried to get rid of DACA. There's a lawsuit. There's been several lawsuits about DACA. It's stuck right now. And unfortunately, those lawsuits stopped new applications of people who were eligible on paper for DACA. It's very unfortunate because we've had, of course, several people contact us that maybe just didn't need to apply before for work permit, but now they can't because of Trump's all the conservative states lawsuits. Okay, and something to keep in mind: there's just a lot of talk, right, in general, even during President Trump's administration, that maybe he truly is for immigrants. Maybe let's just put it that way, right? For a hot second, it's his underlings, the people under him that he puts into power, essentially into certain cabinet seats, certain committees, into federal judiciary, into the Department of Justice. Those people, for the most part, if you've seen the news in 2016 to 2020, they were anti-immigrant. Okay. It's pretty nuts. So again, not trying to fearmonger. There's apparently reports say like 12 million undocumented immigrants. It's a lot of people. I mean, I can't say every single one of them deserve legal status, but because of certain crimes, but a lot of y'all who may not have status right now, a lot of y'all deserve status, and I don't believe it should be merit based. That's what President Trump was trying to do, like some European countries. Um, and President, to give you a little contrast here, what President Biden announced a few days ago or a few weeks ago was trying to create a new parole program specific for married persons. Could it be expensive? That'd be great. But essentially, think of it in the reverse that President Trump could try to get rid of TPS again. That didn't go away, fortunately. Um, Part of me is actually surprised because in the name of TPS is temporary protected status, but it's been ongoing for a long time for many countries. And then, but yeah, President Trump could do the same thing with the program and try to get rid of that because that's created by the executive branch, not by Congress, as far as I know. Okay. But by the way, as I receive information from y'all in the news, welcome to correct me if you think I'm wrong or there's new information because this is an ongoing situation. So feel free to share information. I always welcome it. All right. Now let me answer some questions. How y'all doing today? You know what? Let me go ahead and skip a couple comments here. What's up, Martin? Martin, I see your question here. Shane has a comment here. He says illegal immigration is wrong. Those of us that are trying to go through the process legally are wondering why anyone would support illegal immigration. I appreciate a comment like that. I'm not one of those folks that will say like, "Oh, well, you shouldn't have. I'm gonna like ban you or something." No, I mean, I like this kind of dialogue. I think it's important for me to share at least. Okay, is that yes? Although some people, I don't know, if it's exactly 12 million people. It's not all. Some. I'll put it. Tell y'all right here. A lot of y'all overstayed your visa. Okay, so a lot of people, especially more conservative folks, and even liberal folks, they don't know that some of y'all overstayed your visa. So the association with illegal immigration technically includes, and I don't like to use that word illegal, but more immigration violators. But um, yeah, it does include people who overstay. But the media doesn't talk about it. They just show the border. It's always the imagery, right? The border. Um, it's not always people who enter without a visa. So there are a lot of things that need to be fixed in that sense, and that's why President Biden created the humanitarian parole or made it a little bit more expansive. Um, do I see some holes? Yeah, I see some holes that need to be fixed to make it more streamlined. Because even people who apply for humanitarian parole, it's pretty nerve wracking for folks. It's pretty slow. Um, a lot of people I know, of course, our clients want to try to do it the right way. It's just that in the United States, the system is made to be very difficult. The easiest way per se is through marriage. But y'all know if you're married, it ain't easy. It's not easy. First of all, not easy finding the right person. So that's my short, quick answer to Shane and anyone who's a bit more of a conservative or not, or even if you're liberal, whatever side you're on, it's just a lot of information that needs to be shared. All right, context. I mean. All right, Martin here. What's up? I, I thought to be immigration judge before, but man, I do wake up early. But I don't. To be honest, I don't know if I could roll to the court that early and be stuck. To be honest, just be stuck there, especially when if it was President Trump's administration, they had to have like, as far as I know, they were trying to do 2 to 4 trials in one day per judge, and that is very difficult. Sometimes just one trial could take half a day, if not more. All right, let's see here. If you haven't already, go ahead and like up there, follow down here, or subscribe on your respective channel. Yes, it's not just the board here, right? All right, let me scroll down or up. Hey, thanks for the lightning bolts and the gifts. Really appreciate it, folks. By the way, if you on TikTok, if your comment or question has been Hidden, you can't see it. Don't worry, I can see it. No problem, Joanne. I don't see half your question. I think you say, "Hi, John. Are they still?" Okay, there you go. Are they still processing I-134A applications for Haitians? Um, for humanitarian parole, we call HP. In general, as far as I know, it's still open. It's just more about we first of all we don't handle humanitarian parole just because it's up in the air. They don't. There's no mm, like past history. So of course everyone's gonna ask like, what's the update on my case? Well, it's not really the case. It's more like it's different. They don't even call a sponsor. They call it supporter. So it's a bit different. But yeah, I mean, um, you know what? I may need to create like a webinar topic on that because I know a lot of y'all have questions about it, not just for Haitians, but thanks for asking. Um, and we know people that filed have been supported in this type of application, I-134A humanitarian parole several years ago. It's still waiting, and there's not, as far as I know. Well, I mean, there's a receipt notice number, but you can check, but it doesn't say like, oh, hold up for 6 months, estimated process time is 6 months. They don't have anything like that, as far as I know. DA, um, DA, your question is, how do I manage my time and projects? My quick answer for you is what do you call it? Block scheduling. Put it on your calendar, okay? Everything you got to put on your calendar. Even picking up your dog, you got to put on a calendar. Remembering when to check the visa bulletin. I wouldn't just put it as a reminder only. Like let's say if you use what do you call it, like iCloud reminders, I would put it in your calendar and just add the notification reminder together as well. That's mostly what I do. Gracie, thanks for the follow. All right, House of Calvin. But hey, if y'all have tips on how y'all manage your time, I'm open ears. It's always a work in progress, and I have certain team members that check my own email because I get a lot of emails in my own. Okay, so let's see. House of Calvin, 2 years PR. Can you travel to another country twice a year? You can go twice a year, yeah. Uh-huh. But it's just more about how long you're outside the US. So in one country, if you are a resident here in the United States, you're a permanent resident or conditional resident, whether you want to become a citizen or not, you have to maintain your residency if you want to keep that status. So that requires you to not be outside of the US um, for more than 6 months, at least on a single trip, because you're going to show that you've abandoned it. Now, if you want to become a citizen, though, specifically, you cannot be, whether it's like 2 trips, 3 trips, or 1 trip or more, you cannot be in the US for more than 6 months in one calendar year. If somehow it's like more um, in one year than another, what we do is we calculate the whole 5 year or 3 year time period and just make sure that not more than half of that was outside the US. It's a lot of math actually. Let's see. Thank you so much for the questions. Damn, I realize I got a team meeting right now. I'm sorry, I joined a little later than I wanted to today. Let's see here. I'll try to go live tonight when my family goes to sleep. I tried last night and I just couldn't do it. I just tried to pull myself up. Josh, is law school hard? Hell yeah, it's hard. Hell yes. It's really mostly the first year, but it's not like high school or college where like your last year you can coast a little bit. You definitely will get used to things, have outlines and things like study groups, but yeah, there's no, as far as I remember, I I tried to forget that time period in my life. Although I enjoyed it, and if I had to pick a law school again, I'd pick the same one. That's a very fortunate experience. But yeah, there's no such thing as like senioritis in law school or like coasting. Oh no, because then you got to worry about the next thing, like the bar exam, whatnot. But I'm happy to answer anyone's interested in law school, becoming a lawyer. Maybe you're already in it and have questions about bar exam prep. Happy to answer. Absolutely, because others have helped me and they paved it forward. So I want to do the same. Happy to do that. Audrey, is it safe to travel with Advance Pro with VAWA? I actually don't recommend it in general. I can't remember exactly the reason why. And well, just generally because if for some reason, for knock on wood, that a lot of our clients who have AP approved and they have traveled, they have had no issue coming back. But for VAWA, Violence Against Women Act, which by the way is gender neutral, if for some reason you cannot or not allowed back in, that is going to pretty much, as far as I remember from a client like or someone asked us a similar question a couple weeks ago, you're not going to be able to keep it going. Yeah, because you have to be in the U.S. Because eventually, especially if you file the 485, um, that it's a very complex thing. But at least a couple of tips with VAWA. You have to the incident first of all has had to have occurred in the United States. Okay, this is a lot. So this is one of those examples that, man, I could talk. You don't want me to do this, but if unless it's your specific question, of course, I could talk like hours and hours about this kind of stuff. So if you're interested in wondering, like you just want to verify some things, but and not necessarily like consultation, may not necessarily have. Well, you still can have we'll have Q&A on our webinars, so you can still schedule there on. So on that link or down below in the description box of Facebook and YouTube, there's a link called ZAAP, that bio and some the / the third option is webinar. Okay, we're going to roll them out. Ideal world situation, we're going to do one a week, one topic a week. But the way the schedule looks right now, like DA asked me, it's not looking too good because I also have an intern program that I'm leading. So, trying to elevate the standard of the practice for lawyers and for clients, of course. So trying to teach them the right way. Try not to act like a parent though. But yeah, you can select that option, webinar. Okay, that's option 3. Okay, and so, eventually you'll get an email saying, okay, for your topic, it's coming up this week, so go ahead and RSVP. All right, all right. Someone asked how much I consult. So if you are not interested in our services, then we do charge a traditional consult fee. It's 3 digits, starts with number 1. But if you are interested in our services, you want a lawyer, want legal services for your case, for your application, or to take over your case, or to file a lawsuit because unreasonable delay, you only have to pay this amount to reserve a spot to make sure, just to make sure that you're eligible with our team to get pre-qualified. All right. And that first meeting is not with an attorney. It's with a trained client care specialist. However, when you do sign up, you authorize us to help you out all the way through to get your status. One of your onboard meetings within the first week is with an attorney. Okay. Provide any peace of mind, answer any of your legal questions. All right. All right, folks. Thank you so much. Go ahead and give it a follow. I'm so sorry. I have to go to a team meeting for more training for the team. And I bet y'all would appreciate that. So sorry for making it short today, but please go ahead and follow. And I might go live today. All right. Y'all have a good one. Thank you so much. Stay safe. TGIF.